Imagine watching security footage of someone's final moments. A young woman steps into an elevator. She presses multiple buttons. The doors don't close. She peeks into the hallway as if checking for someone. No one is there. She steps back inside, presses more buttons, steps out again, moves to the corner of the elevator, hides, makes gestures with her hands as if speaking to someone invisibly. The elevator never moves. The doors stay open for over 2 minutes. Then she's gone. Days later, hotel guests start complaining. The water coming from their taps is black. It tastes strange, has an odd smell. Maintenance workers go to the roof. 4 large water tanks sit there. They open one. Inside, floating face up, is a body. It's the same woman from the elevator, 21 years old. The hatch to the tank had been closed. The roof access was locked. No signs of struggle, no trauma, no explanation for how she got there. Her name was Elisa Lam. And this is the footage that millions of people have watched, trying to understand what happened in those final moments. If you're drawn to real cases that still leave experts divided, subscribe and stay with me. This one doesn't let go.
Elisa Lam was born on April 30th, 1991 in Vancouver, Canada. She was a student at the University of British Columbia, studying, blogging, living what seemed like a normal life for someone her age. In January 2013, she decided to take a solo trip down the West Coast, San Diego, Santa Cruz, Los Angeles. She documented parts of the journey online, posted about the places she visited, the people she met, seemed excited. On January 26th, she checked into the Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles, a budget accommodation in Skid Row, not the kind of place tourists usually choose, but it was cheap, and she was traveling alone. At first, she was placed in a shared dormitory-style room, but within days, other guests complained. They said her behavior was odd. She would place belongings on their beds, act strangely during interactions. The hotel moved her to a private room. She was last seen by staff on January 31st, 2013. The next day, she was supposed to check out. She never did. Her parents, back in Canada, expected daily phone calls. When the calls stopped, they knew something was wrong. They contacted the Los Angeles Police Department. On February 6th, LAPD officially declared Elisa Lam missing. They searched her room. They searched the hotel. They found nothing. No signs of foul play, no indication of where she'd gone. Then they reviewed the security footage, and that's when everything changed. If you're still here, go ahead and drop a like. What comes next is where this case splits into 1,000 theories.
February 19th, 2013. Hotel guests had been complaining for days. Low water pressure, water coming out black, tasting strange, smelling off. Some guests reported it was almost brown. Others said it was just discolored enough to be disturbing. The hotel sent a maintenance worker to investigate. The Cecil Hotel has 4 large water tanks on the roof. Each one holds thousands of gallons. They supply water to the entire building. To access them, you have to go through a locked door, then climb a ladder to the roof. The worker opens the hatch to one of the tanks, looks inside, and sees her. Elisa Lam, floating face up, naked. Her clothing and personal belongings were inside the tank with her. The Los Angeles Police Department is called. A full investigation begins. The coroner's office retrieves the body. An autopsy is performed. The findings? No signs of physical trauma, no evidence of sexual assault, no defensive wounds. Toxicology results showed traces of her prescribed medication in her system, but not all of them, and not in the quantities that would suggest she was taking them as prescribed. The official cause of death? Accidental drowning. Contributing factor? Bipolar disorder. That was it. No criminal charges, no suspects, no indication of foul play. Case closed. But the public didn't accept it, because the questions didn't stop. How did she get to the roof? The door was locked. Hotel staff claimed you needed a key to access it. And even if she somehow got through, how did she get into the tank? The hatch was heavy. The tanks are 10 feet tall. She would have had to climb a ladder, open the hatch, lower herself inside, and then somehow close the hatch behind her. From the inside. Is that possible? Technically, yes, but it raises more questions than it answers. Why would she do that? And if she was experiencing a mental health crisis, would she have had the clarity and physical capability to execute that sequence of actions? The LAPD said there were no signs of foul play, but they also acknowledged that the circumstances were unusual. No surveillance footage captured her going to the roof. No witnesses saw her that night. The timeline between the elevator footage and her death is blank. We don't know what happened in those hours. Or days. If this is hitting different, smash that like button. The next part is where everything gets even stranger.
February 14th, 2013. The LAPD releases elevator security footage to the public. It's grainy, black and white, time-stamped February 1st, just after midnight. Elisa enters the elevator. She's wearing a red hoodie, shorts, sandals. She presses multiple buttons on the panel. The elevator doesn't move. The doors don't close. She waits, steps towards the doors, peeks her head out into the hallway, looks left, then right, steps back inside, presses more buttons. Nothing happens. She steps out again. This time she stands to the side of the elevator, just outside the camera's full view. She moves her hands, gesturing, like she's talking to someone or explaining something. Then she steps back in, moves to the corner, flattens herself against the wall, like she's hiding. The doors still don't close. She waits there for nearly a minute, then steps out again. The footage cuts. When it resumes, she's gone. The elevator doors finally close. It starts moving, stopping at each floor she pressed, opening to empty hallways. The entire sequence lasts 4 minutes, but something's off. People who analyze the footage notice discrepancies in the timestamp. Portions appeared to be slowed down. Others seemed to skip forward. The LAPD later confirmed the video had been edited for length and clarity, but that admission only fueled more questions. What was edited out? Why? Within days, the footage went viral. Millions of views. Speculation exploded. Some said she looked terrified. Others said she seemed confused. Some suggested she was playing a game, hiding from someone, or something. The truth is, we don't know what she was experiencing in that moment, but we do know this. Elisa Lam had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. She was prescribed medication to manage it. Lamotrigine, quetiapine, venlafaxine. All mood stabilizers and antipsychotics. Friends and family knew about her condition. She managed it, took her medication, lived her life. But according to later reports, there were signs she may not have been taking her full doses during the trip. Whether that was intentional or accidental, we don't know. What we do know is that the elevator footage shows someone in distress, someone not behaving in a way that suggests clarity or calm. And 13 days after that footage was recorded, her body was found. The case was ruled accidental, but the internet wouldn't let it go. Theories spread. Some rational, some not. The elevator footage became the center of endless analysis. People pointed out that she seemed to be interacting with someone, or something, but no one else appears on the footage. Others noted the way she moved her hands. Some said it looked like she was playing a game, the elevator game, an urban legend, a ritual supposedly performed in elevators to reach another dimension. It involves pressing buttons in a specific sequence, riding to different floors, and if done correctly, you supposedly end up in a different reality. People claimed the button presses in the footage matched the sequence. They don't. Not exactly, but the idea took hold anyway. Then there was the hotel itself. The Cecil Hotel has a dark history. Since it opened in 1924, it's been the site of numerous suicides, murders, It even housed 2 serial killers at different points. Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, stayed there in the 1980s. Jack Unterweger, an Austrian serial killer, stayed there in 1991. Some people claimed the hotel was cursed, that Elisa's death was part of a pattern. But correlation isn't causation. The Cecil was a low-budget hotel in a high-crime area. Tragedy happened there because of its location and clientele, not because of supernatural forces. Still, the theories multiplied. One of the strangest involved tuberculosis. Around the time of Elisa's death, there was a tuberculosis outbreak in Skid Row. Health officials were using a diagnostic test called Lamb Elisa to detect the disease. People noticed the test shared her name. They claimed it was too much of a coincidence, that there was some connection. There wasn't. The test had existed for years. The outbreak and her death were unrelated. But once a theory gains traction online, facts don't always stop it. The LAPD maintained their conclusion: accidental drowning. Elisa Lam was experiencing a mental health crisis. She accessed the roof, entered the tank, and drowned. Tragic, but not criminal. Her family filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the hotel in 2013. They claimed the hotel failed to properly secure the roof, that the lack of security allowed Elisa to access a dangerous area. The lawsuit was dismissed in 2015. The court ruled that the hotel was not liable, and that was the legal end of the case, but not the cultural one. Because the footage still exists, the water tank still existed until the hotel was renovated, and the questions still linger. Was it really an accident? Could someone have been with her that night? Could there have been a third party involved that was never identified? The LAPD says no. They investigated, found no evidence of anyone else, no signs of struggle, no witnesses. But absence of evidence isn't the same as evidence of absence. And that's where this case lives, in the gap between what we know and what we can prove, what we can see and what we can't explain. Elisa Lam's death is officially solved, but for millions of people, it never will be, because the footage shows something that feels wrong, even if we can't articulate exactly what it is. The way she moves, the way she hides, the way she gestures to no one. It doesn't feel like someone making rational choices, but it also doesn't feel like someone who's alone. And maybe that's the real answer, that mental health crises can make people behave in ways that seem inexplicable to the outside world, that tragedy doesn't always have a villain. Sometimes it just has circumstances. A young woman far from home, struggling with an illness, in a place that couldn't keep her safe, and a series of moments that led to an ending no one wanted. The Cecil Hotel has since been renovated, rebranded, turned into affordable housing. The water tanks were removed, but the story remains. Because Elisa Lam's case is one of those rare mysteries that sits at the intersection of the explainable and the unexplainable. The LAPD has an answer, the coroner has an answer, but the footage leaves a feeling, a lingering sense that something is missing. Not evidence, not facts, just certainty. And maybe that's why people can't let it go, because sometimes the most unsettling cases are not the ones with monsters, but the ones with no clear villain at all. Just a young woman, an elevator, and a water tank, and 4 minutes of footage that no one can fully explain. If you want more cases like this, cases that don't tie up neatly, that sit with you long after the video ends, subscribe, hit that like button, and turn on notifications, because stories like this don't end. They just stay with you, and the questions keep coming.